Hello and welcome to the Wicked Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. We have a great show lined up for you. Masi wasi wamenitag sana kwa video ya Karatina University strike. Hii yenye ili happened juzi. And the highlight was about how riot police officers allegedly got chased away by students. As in makarao walitolewa teke. Now, Jessica Maina actually sent me the video clip on email. Have a peek at the video. Now, I have to admit that this is not the first time I have seen police officers overspeeding in the wrong direction, but this was a fresh version. I've checked with the police, but they have a different explanation. They said the police officers were practicing social distancing. Now, I think our reporter Kenyanjui should do an in-depth report on that. Also, I was this week old when I learned that Nduthi guys as a unit make more money than the national government sends to the 47 county governments per year. Not my words. The revelation came straight from the President Uhuru Kenyatta.
I was talking with members of the border sector, and I just gave them a few numbers. Border sector supports almost 5.2 million Kenyans on average, which is about over approximately 10% of our population. Between them, their industry makes 357 billion shillings a year, which is more than we disperse to our 47 counties.
Imagine 357 billion shillings a year, and that's just from Nduthi guys in Nairobi. If you include Nduthi guys from the rest of the country, the figure rises to 357 billion and 100,000 shillings. That math is informed by the calculation that mahali watu wa Nduthi wa ushago charge 50 bob, mse wa Nduthi wa Nai anakulipisha 7,800. In short, wase wa Nduthi wanaweza tengeneza SGR mpya kila mwaka. I guess that would explain why, that would explain the complaints that wase wa Nduthi huride ni kama barabara ni zao. If you're making 357 billion shillings a year, what is Mombasa Road? Now, just so that we are on the same page, here are the Nduthi guys the president is talking about. Any Kenya ukiwa billionaire unaweza fanya kitu yote unataka. And that's exactly how anyone who can run the Kenyan economy behaves. I think the fact that Nduthi guys make so much money would explain why it feels like the government turns a blind eye on some Nduthi guys breaking the law. Listen to the president sharing some ideas with Nduthi guys.
At the end of the day, each of the 1.4 million border operators pays themselves just 50 shillings in the form of daily savings. That total would amount to 70 million shillings a day. This would translate into 490 million shillings a week. This would total 1.96 billion shillings a month. You tell me which organization can raise that kind of money. That is 2 billion shillings a month. With 2 billion shillings, you can own your own petrol stations across the country, assembly plants. You can own banks. You can own manufacturing outlets.
You know you have money when the president is your financial advisor. Now, personally, kwa hizo my ideas zote, nimependa sana hiyo petrol station ya wase wa Nduthi. That would be very affordable to put up. Kwanza, hiyo ni petrol station, si lazima uweke pump. Ni kununua tu masirinji. Uko sure that bob itakufikisha Maimahio? Unajua, alafu hiyo peti, kwanza inafaa itwe direct injection, if you borrow my idea. Uliza mse yote wa Nduthi. Ata kushow Nduthi asikunywangi. In fact, kuna wenye hata waekangi mafuta. Unaingilia petrol station side moja, unatokea hiyo side ingine. Nduthi isikie tu harufu ya mafuta. Alafu, by the way, kuna Nduthi hata ukiweka 800. 800 peke yake unafika Mozambique. Na alafu hiyo ikwe, kama iko na sisi ya juu unaweza jipata pahali kwa barabara, una need top up. But there is a skill to that. Ukifika Arusha unatingiza kidogo. It's all fun and jokes, but I have nothing but love for Nduthi guys. I respect your hustle. However, all of us Nduthi mazee wenye walikuwa involved kwa hii incident mazee. Hii hapa, amkufanya poa. Nimesikia story hapa ilikuwa ni ati mse wa gari aligonga mse wa Nduthi, alafu wase wa Nduthi wakamvamia. Wase wa bike wenye walikuwa hapo, wenye walikuwa involved, hapo mlicheza chini mazee. noma za barabara uko bahati mbaya, and there is always a better way to solve these matters. Wasiwanduthi wakiamua kila time ni violence, it paves way for the dangerous conversation, yeah? Accident happen, msee atoroke to the nearest police station. Not good at all. Not to mean that watu wa magari pia wako innocent, but how come wakati wa incident imetokea na inaonekana vizuri ama ionekane vizuri, ni nduthi iko na makosa, wase wa gari wanafaa kuelewa. Saving lives on the road can be as simple as following rules. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, our guest for this episode is your favorite psychotherapist. If you haven't seen him before, brace yourself for another favorite person in your life. The man himself, Benjamin Zulu, is in the house. We also have great vibes from our friends at Telkom Kenya. Maze, thank you very much for your responses. Nyinyi kwanza as in your responses on our challenge last week. Niliwauliza mtaje the most embarrassing moments mmejipata juu katikiona credo. I'll tell you who won from our previous episode, plus more details on the power bundle offer by Telkom Kenya in a bit. But first, Peter Langat, a police officer from Bungoma, was this week charged with malicious damage of property after he tore up a booklet of BBI signatures and threw it into the river. I know haters will take this one case to push the propaganda that police officers generally hate books. Not true. In his defense, Langat has claimed that, as usual, Kenyans had drawn cows and other animals as signatures, and he felt that the animals were thirsty, so he separated them and took them to the river. Now, on the winnings, about embarrassing moments za katikiona credo, from our previous episode at Kenso254 pale Twitter, alisema he had struggled to get through an office line where he was, there was a job intake. Eventually, the line went through after being told, after being told to hold for some time, hold on the line kidogo. When he started to introduce himself, credo kukatika nayo. Na hivyo ndio job opportunity ilienda manzi. I know everyone can relate to kupiga story alafu unajinyongea time juu una hope ule mtu amekupigia hata ongea sana na una hope hautaambiwa can you please hold on the line. With the latest offer in the market ya Telkom Kenya, you can hold on the line for as long as you wish, because for as low as 10 shillings only, you have enough time ya kupiga story kwa simu courtesy of Telkom Kenya. Imagine 10 bob only unapata free Telkom to Telkom SMSs, free Telkom calls, free WhatsApp, inaitwa Power 10. Na for 20 bob only unaingia kwa Power Extra, unapata free Telkom to Telkom calls, free Telkom SMSs na 100 MBs data bundles for free. Alafu tena kuna Power 20 where you get 5 minutes call time to any network. Unapata free Telkom SMSs, free 100 MBs. Na hizi offer unaweza zienjoy, just dial *544# on your Telkom line to subscribe. Now the topic on our show tonight is about family. What defines family? Blood ties ama simply chemistry? Benjamin Zulu is on the other end of this short commercial break to help us break this subject and navigate it. So trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. So see you guys in a bit. Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Tuko na show noma sana kama kawaida, and I believe this is courtesy of the track record tumetengeneza na nyinyi and how far we have come. Leo tunataka kujua one simple thing. Who is family? By definition, is it blood ties ama the person ama the people who stand with you in your lowest moment? And who better to have this conversation with than one Benjamin Zulu? Ben, karibu sana.
Asante, how are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you.
Very good.
Auko na mimi nikikwambia I work with a cabal of haters who really recommended you for this episode.
You know,
Manze,
everything from your name is satirical. So now that we are talking about family,
yes,
it's important to say, you hear that blood is thicker than water, but thick things can also choke you, all right?
Yes.
Okay. And you need to know that when it comes to family, don't just stop at blood. Go on to chemistry.
Okay.
We could be family, but we are enemies. In fact, the first murder was committed in the family, courtesy of the Bible.
Yes.
And another day, I'll tell you that men usually kill each other, all right?
Yes.
There was sons of that family, but the story is generally quiet. So when it comes to family, it's okay to respect that we are connected by blood. But those are just accidents of ancestry. Don't take them too far. Don't take them too far.
Yes.
It's okay that we come from the same place. There's a responsibility I have. So I want to enumerate to you what you shall do with your family of origin is where you are born.
Yes.
Family, nuclear family is the family you form. And the family you form is always more important than the family of origin. It shall come first when there's a conflict.
Yes.
Man shall leave father and mother and cleave to
Yes.
wife. Be one. Yes. So leaving does not mean abandoning, but it means detaching and individuating.
Yes.
And I want to announce to men that if you never outgrow your parents, that's what we call mama's boy or baba's boy, and you don't deserve to marry any other woman when you still have your mother as the woman.
Thank you for the clarification. I thought by outgrowing you meant becoming older than your parents.
To outgrow means to get out under their control, under so much of their power. There comes a time that you begin to call your own shots and to pay your own bills. I don't allow a man past 25 to continue living in the same room with a mother, and you're talking with a girl late in a bedroom that your father is in the same house.
Oh, unless you're an Indian, of course.
Culture. Exactly. In our culture, you need to have developed enough so that we can see what you're made of. You see, the way you set up your family, your house shows us what you're made of. How you dress, how you set your car, how you set your young men. Many of them, unless you inherit, they don't start with cars. They just start with hustling. So the way you set your house tells us how you think. Yes. So family, when you are young, when you're starting out life, family is what you're starting. Where you're coming from, your brothers, your sisters, and your parents should not dictate who you shall marry. In Kenya, you hear parents swearing, hapa kwangu pasiolewe kabila fulani. You hear them swearing that you should not marry, and then they're already married or not married. They're done with their turn.
Yes.
You need to demarcate the authority of parents and to know when they have overstepped their mandate. You should not allow a parent to dictate who you shall marry.
But it's written in the Bible, children obey your parents.
You're not a child anymore. You're a child up to 18. From the time you begin to call your own shots, this time is not a child. You honor, not obey. Children shall obey. Adults honor. To honor is to acknowledge. I recognize your existence. That's about it all.
That's where it starts.
Thank you, my dad. And I had to tell you that I'm getting married. And I'm married from, where's that girl from? Yeah, she's from, man, I don't want people from that. You see, you're saying they should not be married into your home. I'm not marrying into your home. I'm marrying my own.
Okay, Sawa. Then this begs the question of, does this mean that children don't owe their parents anything? Because we talk of ulinipeleka school fees, you raised me, you did this, you did that. Does it mean that they do not have a responsibility over their parents in that regard? Be
careful with the word children. I want to demystify that word. Be very careful. Okay, Kiswahili is limited. Unasema mwana ama mtoto. But here we are saying a son or daughter can be an adult.
Yes.
Once you become an adult, the responsibility you have to your parents is to help them and take care of them to the best of your ability without breaking your back. Are we together?
Oh, so it's actually legal. You can tell your parents you don't have money.
Exactly. It is allowed to say I can't go beyond this.
Ah, okay.
It's allowed, and you should not. In fact, and I warned people, once you begin to do things your parents never did, don't seek their advice. They'll mislead you.
Okay.
If you're trying to manage $1 million and they never saw 10,000, Dad, I have $1 million here. What do you think you should do? He will advise you to open a butchery at home. Then you eat all the meat. Tell you they did not buy the meat, so you just ate it. The piece of a portion meal here, and there's nothing going. They just cook ugali the unga. So yes. I tell people it's okay to respect your parents, honor them, but please also remember their limitations. They're your parents, but they're not super beings. There's a where they went, where they don't go. Also acknowledge their failures.
Okay, so it means that if I'm getting you correctly, obey your parents until up to the point where they actually push you towards things you don't like.
Obey your parents under two conditions. One, when you're a child. After you become a child, listen to advice and make your own choices.
Choose what?
Let them advise you, but finally make your choice.
Okay, so when it comes to relationships defined as family based on chemistry, we do not have blood ties. We only have a few things in common.
Yes, we are bound by blood, but we are not friends necessarily. So when it comes to collaboration, collaborate with your friends. He's my brother, but he's my friend. It's my sister, but you get along. We collaborate. We think on the same level. Because we are brothers and sisters, you can't see eye to eye. Don't force it. Don't force it. Floor, man. Don't even build in your father's compound. By the way, can you warn men? Stop dragging your woman into another woman's territory. Women are territorial. Get out. Get your woman a place so that, you know when you bring them same compound, you start hearing funny cases. Kuku yako ilichapa kuku yangu, alafu sufuri yangu ikakanyangwa na mtoto wako hata. You begin hearing funny cases, and whenever your wife comes in and goes, your mother is counting how many times today she walked out.
Yes.
Women have dignity of their own space. So encouragement, as much as possible, start in your own small space alone, some distance away. Okay, we have families who build family empires, and they have the houses in the same compound, and they want you to inherit one of the houses. I ask men to be very careful. And most of those men who marry from higher social status, when you marry from a higher social class than you, I acknowledge your ambition. From Roysambu to Runda, you live in Runda, but you marry in Runda. Yes. But please recognize the culture you find there. One of the guys married into a family empire like that, it was him who became an adopted son. Because the family he has married into has businesses and all people work there with their spouses, and you are paid by the patriarch.
But are you saying in this case that it's okay for a woman to marry into a rich family, but it will be disastrous for a man to marry a woman?
It is not disastrous if you do your mathematics and you agree with the woman that you're still going to be independent individuals. Because many powerful families is the person on the top, the matriarch or the patriarch, who calls the shots.
Yes.
And they have a meeting. There's a family dinner every Sunday evening, and it's compulsory. And the muzee takes 10 minutes kuzomea all of you how childish you are in front of your wife. How did you spend that money? And you have to apologize.
But you cannot talk because you cannot afford it.
Now, that failure to afford is fear. It's not failure. It's fear. So you are afraid of getting away from the empire that he has built. There comes a time if he's diminishing your self-esteem, your respect as a man, your courage, break away.
Okay.
Can we ask men never to trade their dignity, their self-respect, their self-esteem for anything? For anything. If your father built a thing, but he's not allowing you to learn on your own, go start zero on your own. Sometimes these fathers dictate everything because they are built. If they can give you an inheritance to something to start life, appreciate it, but never trade your dignity. Do not be insulted in front of your woman by anyone, even your father.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But then when you come to in times when you are in trouble, how do you identify people that you can know that this person can stand with me in my lowest moment?
All right. So let's now come to nuclear family. I've told you how to handle extended family.
Yes.
You shall collaborate with those whom you have chemistry, connection. You understand each other.
Yes.
All right. But if you have a brother whom you don't talk, but is on track, those brothers who just care, but they have children, please pay fees for the children so that the family, at least they're not beggars. Don't succeed alone because you never enjoy it. They will paint your name badly. They will see you on TV. That guy, this is the brother. That guy ignored us. So as much as possible, those useless men, try to assist them to marry sense. He's senseless, but you should marry a woman in sense, so that using the woman, you can educate the children.
The equation.
Make sure there's a house there, somewhere they can sleep. If he's a brother, find a way to help so that the children are innocent. I ask people to be careful, but don't neglect, because after 10 years, they will be poor and thieves. They will just be troubling you. You never enjoy life. Actually, you never have peace when you know this is my brother's children.
With that wealth of information that you have as far as personalities and human beings are concerned, how do you choose your friends?
Oh, I choose my friends because of one word, but it has 3 languages. One, do we vibe? Do we have a rhythm? Are we of the same in spirit? In those who are religious, they call it, are we of the same spirit? Those who are science, they call it, are we of the same frequency or energy? But street, they call it vibe. Get a person with whom you vibe. We talk until after our conversation, I'm thinking for the next few hours, thinking about what we say. So my friends evolve as I evolve, okay? Learn to retire friends when they become stale. Okay. They only contact you to borrow money. Only contact you, and they start by complaining. Hujanipigia siku nyingi. Those people start by complaining about, I tell, excuse me, can you start on a positive vibe? Now that we are talking, how are you, man? Call me, I call you. If we are busy, it's okay.
Okay.
So you need a person whom you flow. Friendship is about one, we vibe. Number 2, they challenge you to level up. You need a friend who is in some way, they are better than you. Maybe in family they are ahead, another career you are ahead of, but in some way they force you to level up. You can ask them advice about something. If all your friends are feeding on you, you'll be depleted. You need friends who feed you. It needs to be mutual. And I want to warn people, once you hit that, break away from all mentors.
When you say retire friends, it's like makes it sound like you have friends on contract. Like you'll be my friend for 2 years, after which...
No, life is a journey, and I don't know how faster you're growing. I could be growing faster than you. Maybe now I'm aiming higher, you are satisfied. Once we stop rhyming, we don't need to sing a goodbye and have a burial ceremony for our friendship. We just talk less and less. The higher you go, King Ori, the more you don't need a group of friends. You need a grade of friends, a certain kind of people.
Oh.
It's a pyramid. It becomes fewer the higher you go because you are busier. You only have a time for talking to one buddy. On that week, we only talk to 2 guys. University folks are so idle. They band in groups, group party after party. But the more you evolve, you don't have time for party after party.
There's a name for that, uko mtaani, inaitwa Maringo.
You can call it Maringo, it's okay. But those people of power, they call it selective association. So you begin to select who, because energy is a thing. If I listen to your nonsense, it gets into me too. If every day you have a dull drama, boy drama, baby mama drama, and every time I have to assist you with it, every time I'm caught in the drama, everybody has a whirlpool of drama going around there. Pick the ones, everybody will make you suffer. So choose the ones who are ready, worthy to suffer for. Everybody you bring in your life will bring you some pain. Choose the ones who are worthy suffering for. So I want a person who has as least drama as possible. And I want to, if you are aspiring to get married and all your boys are girl players, you are not serious. Sometimes guys go in a gang, in a club, or the club type go to clubs, the church type goes to church, the fellowship. So sometimes I want you to migrate from fellowship, because fellows are thinking too small. 12 spies believed in God. Only 2 believed in themselves. Remember, the 10 thought they were grasshoppers, but the 2 thought they were able to conquer. Not every Christian is progressive. Some are waiting to be taken to heaven.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I think I couldn't have put it any better. Benjamin, hii information inatoka wapi yote? Experience ama kusoma?
Passion. When you find what you belong into.
Passion. And what thing other than the devil kwa hii dunia imekukasirisha na binadamu that desire?
That they ignore their potential to run after love. True fulfillment doesn't come from sex or drugs. It comes from performing the thing you are called to do. Value. Ask all young people in the universities. First, lay hold of your calling. Pursue your gifts. Develop your potential. Try business. Try developing website. Try that thing in you. Dedicate 3-4 years until you're 25 to it. Before you tell anybody, I love you too.
Wachana na hii mambo ya certificate ati mimi nimesomea hii and this is what
certificates are all over here. People are tamaking certificates. Some of us have 3 or 4 of them, and they don't guarantee anything. It's what is the uniqueness. You told me I was recommended here by other people. They saw my work. Okay, let me finish with this. We say there's a problem in unemployment in Kenya. I disagree. We don't have unemployment. We have unemployability. Useless, lacking work ethic and disciplined youth. Kingori, you have tried to build a latrine at home or to repair your mother's roof at home. To get one fundi who is reliable, to fence your home is difficult.
So it's a people problem.
It's
employability.
Today you ask for interview, people show up late quoting traffic jam. Our youth, they lack work ethic. In the university, they don't study. They drink and rave over weekends. They sleep until 11 a.m. They live. They're not disciplined. They play music, loud music, and partying and shouting. And they read 2 weeks to exam. They make more Kenya.
Punguzeni volume. Benjamin, you are such a vibe, Maze. We could spend the whole night talking about this, but otherwise, asante sana, and thank you for honoring our invite. Asante sana, you are an honorable man, a timekeeper, and a respectable gentleman. Asante sana, and we hope to have you again and again.
Asante.
Sawa. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.